Yo, what is up?
Really time to talk about our Lord and Savior Giant Eagle Spring Water.
There he is. The man has risen.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Well,
The Loch Ness tickle monster.
Alright, well, listen here, folks. I was actually afraid that we were going to have to skip this one because, as you may have followed in our Discord, Chad unfortunately got another bullshit community guidelines strike, and we thought we were going to have to postpone this until the strike was lifted, or at least do it on Twitch only and then save the archive later. But miraculously, at 12:30 last night, they just randomly removed the strike.
Randomly.
Yeah, no email or nothing. They just got rid of it, and everybody was happy with that. So now here we are.
Look, man, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm not going to stomp my feet and jump up and down and complain. This time around, I had to go through the review process, which takes a couple of days. As soon as I went to the help desk and had a conversation with an actual human being, that shit got escalated like that. And I was immediately sent up above the normal review process and to the higher ups, and they sorted that shit out. What I've noticed is that they are quick about low key reverse it and not say anything. It's like not going to be like, oh shit, that never should have happened, man. We're sorry that you had to go through that, but we fixed it and there it is. It's just kind of like, oh, that's a problem? Well,
Shit.
and then that's it.
That seems to be a problem with YouTube. That since for for a long time now, they just had a hard time with communication with people.
They were really nice though. The girl that I spoke to, Mara was her name, and she was incredibly attentive to making sure she had all the details about my problem, what I had done, and listen to me when I told her, we're a small channel. This really screws us up. Losing a week of uploads is very detrimental to us. And she understood that and was like, we really want to get this taken care of as quick as we can. And it only took a couple of days to resolve the whole thing. Last time it was literally the end of the week ban by the time it got fixed. So it was much quicker this time. How that all went down, I may never know.
But it is a certain issue. That is an issue that certainly needs to be looked at deeper, because it's like this is like the second time this has happened to you in like the last 3 months, and
It's true.
It's possible that any one video could be stricken on there. I even talked about in a vlog that I did that one of my videos could be fucking taken down for just any random reason they could think of, like any certain joke I decide to make in there. They could just fucking take that down for no reason.
Well, the video's there. The video's not removed. The strike is gone. I've received no communication about that. It just is. So again, I'm not going to complain. I'm just curious. I'm curious as to what decision was made. Because here's the thing, right? The clip that was supposed to be the big issue was the part where the guy was laying in bed and got slapped, and it was like a really loud slap noise. Well, how many videos have there within the past 4 or 5 months that have been uploaded of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to go and remove all of those? Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
But by their new community guidelines, it's like any act of violence or whatever that is for a prank or that the victim is unexpecting.
Yeah.
Is against community guidelines now. Okay. Evidently, Chris Rock did not know Will Smith was going to smack him.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, as somebody who's a professional wrestler, really good ones do, like a lot of wrestlers, we may not punch each other square in the jaws and break each other's jaws, but I'll slap the shit out of you because you'll be okay. Yeah. Like if I just smack you, as long as I don't hit your ears or anything like that, you can take a smack. It's fine. It hurts like a bitch, but you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So say that these things aren't staged and planned and everybody's in on it. How can you gauge that? Are you going to go around and ask everyone involved in every clip whether they knew they were going to get smacked or not?
Yeah. I think that's just a problem with YouTube's whole AI or whatever AI they use for this. Like, they had a problem as well with video game violence as opposed to real violence. They would just flag video game videos because they had video game violence in them. It's like, oh, this is real violence. It's motherfucker. It's Halo.
Yeah. Which is like one of the least graphic things on YouTube.
Yeah, and plus, like, also YouTube's constantly changing their community guidelines and all their little rules and all that, and they're automatic. They will just sweep everything and make a very generalized, like, oh, fuck you, and no, you're good.
Yeah. It's not consistent from channel to channel. It's like decision to decision.
Yeah, it's the inconsistency in the AI that's the problem. It's the fact that they're using an AI for that is already kind of an issue, but what are you really gonna do when you're that fucking big?
Shit, I don't know, dude. I could not imagine having to cover the amount of processes that take place on YouTube every single day. Uploads, deletes,
like,
people band dodging. It would be so hard to catch people band dodging.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they think, like, I hear the arguments sometimes of, like, oh, just hire, like, 10,000 people to focus on this specific issue, like ban evasion or, like, certain community guideline shit with the AI or some shit, whatever. But that's not really going to fix it. That's maybe going to put a tiny dent in the problem, but that's not going to fix anything.
Also, these people who give criticisms like that haven't been able to fucking do anything consistently in their life for like 3 months. So, you know, tell me how easy all these processes are when you've never been able to be involved in any process.
Exactly. It's also always, it's always the outsider looking in like, oh, you're doing this wrong. Oh,
I've got this verse or this lyric in one of my songs that says, the what is it? Hold on. Illiterate idiots are the loudest literary critics. Judge a book by the cover and can't read the first sentence. Because like
exactly.
Because like a lot of the bad take video game review guys, you know, you can tell they've never even played the game, and here they are running their mouth like, dude, you don't even play games. You're angry about stuff in video games, and you want to talk shit about this game. You're not even the one that's going to be playing it.
Yeah, that's everybody can be a critic, but like that, because like that doesn't take any skill whatsoever. This is bad. Oh, okay. But if you have this is bad, but this is how you can make it better, then you're already that's already way better. But everybody's just like, oh no, this is bad. Why? It just sucks. Okay, suck it. What are you gonna do about it?
You know, that's kind of why I never got into AVGN at all. Because like that just on there, I like James Rolfe as a person, but the AVGN thing is just like, I don't know. I'm sure it was
time.
Yeah, and there are still some diehard fans of them today. So obviously, I'm not knocking you for liking those. If you actually still like AVGN and whatnot, more power.
I think it's a gimmick, though. Also, you got to tell when people are putting on, or when they're actually just being fucking Debbie Downers for the sake of ruining everybody's fun. I look at Angry Video Game Nerd as like the same way that I look at, you know, any other fictitious character.
Okay, hold up. We got a donation of RON10 of a guy named Fuhu that says, "Big ginger man, please give my wife a child."
Hell yes.
What the
fuck? Beautiful. Thank you.
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened on the podcast. Oh, that was fucking amazing. Give my wife a child.
Okay, so it's a Romanian Lou. That's what that is, RON.
Ah,
It's equivalent to 21 cents.
My man said, "We will breed a Conor McGregor one way or
that's
another."
one. Exactly. No, that's one Lou. 10 is $2.1,
Dude, that's sick.
I believe. Yeah,
That
thank you.
is so funny. Yeah,
That-
thank you for the
that
support
cracked
and
me
for the
up.
words of encouragement.
That cracked me the fuck up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my god. We finally got one of the gaming chairs. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Which is why I'm bouncing around like a fool trying to figure out where I'm at in this thing. I'm not used to this.
New chairs are always a thing. You have to really get comfortable in it.
Well, we've still got to get another one. So we both just been like swapping out hot racking this. Hot racking is a term, if you don't know, that I'll explain for you. Have you ever heard that?
No.
So I was in the Navy at one point, and when you're on I was never on a ship, but I was taught about ship life a lot. And one of the things that they do on a ship, especially submarine, and there's enough people so that there's half the beds you need. So whenever one person is getting up to go to work, the other person goes to sleep in that person's bed, and vice versa. So the bed's always warm, so they call it hot rack, a hot rack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I'm so glad I was never on a submarine. I could never do that shit, dude. Because you got to think, you're down there with like 20-something people. You may be underneath the ocean for like 4 months in this little ass submarine with all these people. Fuck, dude.
Exactly.
Underneath the Arctic ice, it's like, no. If I get stuck down here, fuck this.
There's not many things I fear. Underwater shit, like deep underwater shit. Nuh-uh.
Get it out of here, dude. Take it as far away from me as possible.
We've explored more of space than we have of our own fucking oceans, and it's terrifying what's down there. I don't want to know about it.
Here's what I want to know: how I can go. Have you ever been? Have you guys ever swam in the ocean?
Yeah. Not often, but a couple times when I was on
Yeah,
vacation.
very rarely.
Yeah.
I lived like 15, 20 minutes away from the ocean.
Nice.
Yeah. And Atlantic, of course. And I would go to the beach sometimes and go and like stick my feet in the ocean, but past my knees, nope. I'm not going in there, dude. It's not going to happen.
Dude, I heard mine. I remember it vividly. The worst fucking sunburn I ever had.
Oh,
It
God.
it was like the first week the pool opened, right? And I was going with my brother and one of our neighbor's kids. And we were there for about 3 or 4 hours. I didn't have any sunscreen on. And when I got home, it was fucking horrible, man. It was like completely crimson. There were like blisters dripping down my back and shit. It took like at least a month for it to recover.
Dude,
Ooh.
Freddy Krueger shit. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Have you guys caught up on Stranger Things yet? Or I'm going to have to reach through the camera and slap y'all.
I'm very sorry, buddy. You're gonna have to slap me.
Oh, you're getting slapped. This is another thing that's going to get fucking banned.
I've been
No.
too busy. I
No,
already
it
have so
won't.
many other shit in the background.
It shouldn't be bad. Yes.
No, I already have so much shit on in the background already when I'm working that I just completely forget. I'm just like, oh yeah, I could watch that.
If you like the occult shit, you'll love it, dude. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
I'll make a special note of it to have it on in the background while I'm working.
It's one of those shows, unfortunately, where the like first season, the beginning of the first season is
What's kind of
it's not just slow, but it is like maple syrup running down the tree slow, just like sap.
but it's at least setting up for the second season.
Oh, dude, everything after that's fucking badass.
Oh, okay, then I'm okay with it. I can sit through some slog if it gets to the good shit after
The
that.
the first season is kind of like this otherworldly, like, you know how in the movie It, and especially the series back in the day, a large majority of the show, you didn't see it. You knew bad things were happening to kids, but it just showed you enough to tell you that was going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. A lot of the cool shit is like towards the very end of the first season, and the rest of it is just kind of letting you know there's some paranormal activity going on. Are you doing the dancing of the fucking swans over here with some measuring tape, Thomas? What the hell are you doing?
Leave me to my own devices, sir. I am focusing.
Well, I have
Yeah.
seen some television shows where people are very weirdly interested in and loving of inanimate objects. I don't know if we need to. That may be some kind of new form of erotica we're not aware of.
That's just
So,
something for you to figure out, mister. What do you think I should be doing?
you know that hurts like a bitch. Stop doing that.
Really? What if I use two? Oh. Now, what do you say how that is, sir?
How do we- How do
I mean,
we?
if I could have
How we end up with the Dollar General version of Steve-O here? If you're gonna hurt yourself for entertainment, do a backflip off the house.
the 7-Eleven pinhead.
Do a backflip off the house if you're gonna hurt yourself.
God damn it.
Dude, have you seen the
have,
video
like,
of Steve-O before he went into rehab that last time? Like what he was doing? Where he was doing crazy drugs and then just building a skate park inside his apartment?
Oh yeah.
They were evicting him because he was being too much, so he just said, fuck it, and paid thousands and thousands of dollars to have a skate park built in the apartment they were kicking him out of.
God damn. Did
Yeah.
he also like climb on some massive structure to protest some animal thing or some shit?
Yeah, he did that shit sober, though.
Oh, okay.
Steve-O's still crazy, mind you. He's just not. He was
Not
doing this
as-
interview with Jonathan Davis on his podcast where he was talking about, like, when he did
Jonathan David?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good podcast. You should listen to it. But
okay.
at one part in it, he was talking about how he didn't like to do hallucinogens unless he was going to do them, to the point where he started seeing people that weren't actually there. Like, that was his favorite part.
Yeah.
Steve-O's crazy, dude. I mean,
can
that's
relate, though.
crazy.
That's fun.
I saw the
Whatever you say.
the one fucking video he was on with Gordon Ramsay where he's like trying to make scrambled eggs or whatever, like trying to make an omelet, and he just puts his own hot sauce into his eyes.
Oh, yeah. And of
I love
course,
how Gordon's
Gordon
just-
Ramsay.
He's
Oh,
just
God.
terrified. It's like I thought those days were done, man.
No, those days are
Like,
not.
no,
done.
I'm still stupid as ever.
Yeah. Did you guys see the new Jackass?
4 or 4.5?
The one that came out in theaters most recently.
I saw them both. I saw the unrated one where they just showed all the extra stunts, and I saw Jackass 4.
Yeah, I saw the one in theaters. I didn't know there was 4.5.
Yeah.
But 4 was fucking incredible.
It really was. It.
The
that
opening
whole-
sequence was the greatest
Oh.
cinematic moment of all time. Chris Pontius is a legend. He holds a record now for the most male showing of all time in an American film.
That's a fair way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was schlong time the entire time, the whole opening. I was just like,
entire time.
dude, this is
was
the
so
greatest thing
funny.
that's ever happened.
Hold up, Corn 5656 with the $10. Hey, I was curious. Have you considered
Yo,
doing a playthrough of System Shock 1 Enhanced Edition or the remake that's coming in the future?
Ooh.
I have never even heard of that, so of course I will consider doing it. I will be looking into that immediately, and thank you for the donation. We really
Thank you very much.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Your donations on this podcast help me support these fine gentlemen right here, who join me and do a great job as moderators on our Discord. and great job as co-hosts. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
What was that?
thank you.
K Horn 5656 with that $10. Good
Yeah.
God Almighty!
But I'm surprised you have not heard of System Shock.
No,
That is.
It's
System
basically
Shock-
what Bioshock got all its inspiration from.
oh
Yeah, it's in that whole circle of like, Bioshock took inspiration from it. I think.
Which, by the way, you should also play Bioshock as well. That's fucking great
Yeah.
right there.
Did Deus Ex take inspiration from that, or was it the other way around? I don't really remember.
I don't know. I had never played
it's-
Deus Ex.
Yeah, it's in that same circle. It's really, really interesting, but it's like the OG versions are very, very archaic, and you can have a very
Just like the
difficult
original
time.
Half-Life.
Yeah, but
or Morrowind.
Oh, shit. Crimson New type with the $50. I want to help too.
well, you're
Well.
helping us a lot. Jesus Christ!
God damn.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Crimson.
What the fuck?
Was not expecting that.
thank you, my brother. You are helping tremendously, of course, and I'm sure that throughout this process, we're gonna gain more and more support. But just knowing that you guys give a shit and you're showing up and you're supporting, it means a lot, man. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you so much for that.
Genuinely.
And we were even considering last night when we were talking, like Thomas said, should we even be able to do this? Like, are they going to reverse the strike? Can we even go on today with the podcast? Am I going to be able to do the stream with Nikki this evening? Like, because I didn't want to do the Resident Evil stream, and knowing that like the YouTube viewers that have been there the whole time, we're going to miss out on it live.
Right.
Yes, we could re-upload it, but it's not the same experience if we're re-uploading the video.
Yeah. 'cause
And
it's
when we
not-
did the fucking Elden Ring stream, there were 7 or 8 people there, which is great, and I always appreciate that. But it, like, all the YouTube people pretty much weren't there, and they weren't there because they had no idea we had a strike. They had no idea what the hell was going on. If you're not in the Discord, you don't know.
Yeah.
So, like, we couldn't even make a community post to tell people that shit had happened.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, though, things turned out, so we're still going to be able to do that. This shit's popping off, and it was a real blessing. But fuck, man, could you imagine, like, had this shit happened on Sunday instead of on last Thursday,
Oh, God. That would be
Yeah.
terrible.
we would have missed all the streams. We would have missed community game night, and we would have missed
Contemplating a couple games there. Golf with Your Friends and Fall Guys, which recently got ported to Xbox and Nintendo Switch. It's,
Yes.
It's free to play and it's cross-platform, so anybody can join in.
Yes, I would love to try Fall Guys. I would really
You know what it
like
is?
to. It's like a race game, right? Like where you run
Right,
around
it's
through obstacles.
It's like a game show kind of thing where it's like
Yeah.
you have like 60 people in a room and you go through like obstacle courses and shit, and then it's like players that get eliminated, like the top 40 and then like the top 20, and then it keeps going down in increments. And then it
Yeah.
comes down to like a final round where you have to like get a crown or something, and whoever grabs the crown first is the winner of that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a battle royale, quote unquote, but it's obstacle courses. And
I wouldn't
just
say
grab
battle
each
royale,
other.
exactly.
Yeah. It's not that, but it's fucking the only way I can think of anything that's like anything more than 50 players now.
There are squad games in there though, where you can have like a squad of like 4 people and like team up against each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, man. Like, I would really be down to figure out how to manage that in Discord, how to get people involved, and
Oh, it's piss easy.
you think it would be easier to do than Jackbox for that?
About the same, I'd say, because really
Yeah.
all it is, like, you either go online with random.
Getting people into the game from different platforms and things like that. Do we just have to share a code or something?
They just
Well, I
have to
think
be
with
game.
Fall Guys, since it's an Epic Games title, it's actually have like an Epic Games account linked to your
Oh, okay.
whatever your profile is.
Oh, do you still have to have that account linked?
Yeah, I think it's what it is. Because when I first started it up, it said I had my Epic Games account and that my Xbox profile linked together.
Dude.
Oh, you can
I'm
just
so
invite
s-
your friends. Yeah.
I'm so psyched, dude. I'm psyched because right now there's so many options out there for shit like this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now that we've kind of got our method of madness of controlling this shit down to a certain degree, we can hop in and try different games and stuff, which I'm excited about. Don't get me wrong, I really like Jackbox Party Pack,
Yeah.
but I also
But it gets a
like
little after a while,
skill-based games.
Mhm. Yeah. Jackbox is fun, but it's the same.
Yeah, it's a game show. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a game show. Babe,
Speaking of games,
got a $50 donation to the podcast. Crimson New Type coming through, blessing the homies. It's a beautiful day. Which is, it's like, I feel terrible because we're at a point right now where I can't just be like, hey, you guys are our moderators and you guys are on the podcast, so here's a paycheck, you know?
Dude, don't worry about it.
So, like, this is
Don't worry about it.
as good as it can get. And one day, hopefully, that'll change and it'll be something to where it creates a job for people who want that and are involved, or at least an alternate stream of income outside of the norm. I really enjoyed that podcast I did with my friend Chandler. I threw up an audio version of it,
Yeah,
but I was thinking about getting the video from this and ripping it and putting it on like RSS or some kind of podcast streaming service and seeing if we
yeah, I was
can't.
thinking possibly like put it on Spotify or something. That's what
If you want to do that, Thomas, that's fine. If you want to rip this and put an audio version on your channel, or you want to put it on your Twitch, Monopolis, or anything like that, feel free to do that. If there's some place you guys want to host an audio version of this and see if you can do something and monetize it or whatever, feel free to. Because I've seen so much out there of people like reusing content in different forms.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, there's nothing really wrong with that if it's more accessible to other people who wouldn't otherwise ever hear it or see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw somebody complaining about mashups the other day. Like, these mashups are just compilation or combination of a bunch of reaction channels. This is theft. And it's like,
Yeah.
how can you support reaction channels but not support mashups? Because they're literally doing the same thing pretty much.
Exactly.
Or you don't like you like meme compilations, but you don't like mashups. Like, what?
Yeah.
I love their reasoning as well. It's like these matchup channels are just collections of reactions. Like, yes, thank you for describing exactly what the fucking video is.
Exactly.
Right. And like, nobody's mad. Do you see any of these channels that are linked in this video complaining?
Yeah. No, people just look for reasons to complain, realistically.
Professional bitchers.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had some
Well,
teachers
I
that
don't
were in
like
that
it.
category.
My God, always the teachers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I feel bad about teachers that I grew up with. And, you know, things may have gotten a little bit different when you guys went through school because I'm a little older, but they just didn't get that, like, there was a difference between extremely mentally ill, middle of the road mentally ill, and then your average kid, and that a lot of kids in class were in the middle of the road mentally ill.
Yeah.
And they took the actions of a lot of the people that I was in school with and myself as if everything was good and we were just being that way
Yeah.
to them, you know. And I felt bad because, you know, now there's like, oh, we got to recognize, you know, ADHD more, autism more, bipolar, all the depression, anxiety, and things like that. Used to, it was just you were the asshole kid that caused problems because you couldn't sit still and never paid attention or whatever, you know.
Exactly.
Nowadays, it seems like there's more knowledge about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like how before like people didn't really know that autism was like a spectrum of things. They thought it was just like they thought it was basically mental retardation, but as
Which
more
it can
as
be,
more research,
it can be.
yeah, I'm not saying it can't be, but mostly people just equated it to just that.
Right.
But it's more so just like trying to understand things at certain levels, like social cues and whatnot.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like for me personally, I'm in the autistic spectrum where I can understand most things when they're told to me, and when they're shown to me like more hands-on stuff.
Right.
But certain social cues I still struggle heavily in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's just like having bipolar disorder makes it to where I can't trust my emotions. So if something like, if I'm offended by something, or if I feel like somebody has a problem with me, that might just be me. It's a good chance they don't even really care, or they're not mad at me, or there's no real problem. But to me, I'll be like, this motherfucker really is trying to, start some shit with me now, and that's not gonna go. Like, I don't play with that shit. Like, if we're gonna have to sort this out right now. And I've had it, I play in bands and shit, and you know how egos are with musicians, right? So can you imagine how often I'm like, what's the deal, motherfucker? But I've had friends of mine who give off like a certain vibe because they're frustrated about their set or whatever, and I'll be like, dude, do we need to handle something right now? Like, what's your problem? And they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
So, my struggle is completely different. I read social cues, and I'm pretty good at it, but my emotional reaction to them is not always appropriate. So while I can read the cues, the way that I process, like, the intent behind them can be totally off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole different thing. But, Nikki has spoken to me and taught me a lot. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology, and she's had to do her own research on autism because they didn't teach about autism in college for her. How fucked is that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very prevalent thing.
Yeah, very prevalent.
And it can be the opposite, dude. It can be the opposite to what Thomas was saying, where people think that it's mental retardation. It can be like the total opposite. Like, there's people that I know who have autism who are literal fucking geniuses, like literal geniuses.
Yeah, there's this one person that I saw this video of. It was like, I don't remember which form he had, but he could just they took him on a helicopter flight over a city.
Oh, I saw that.
Remembered it. Every single little detail and drew the entire city very fucking deep to a T perfectly.
Yes.
Like, that's a superpower. That's
Wesley Willis, dude. Wesley Willis.
Yeah.
He ended up getting schizophrenia. Which, do you know that story? Do you know what happened to him?
I know a part of his story. I don't know the full details, but I know the major, schizophrenia, making the music to scare off his demons and all that. And
yes. Okay. So, are you familiar with Wesley Willis, Thomas?
I can't say that I am, but it sounds like a very interesting story.
He's a very avant-garde musician. Okay, he passed away not too long ago. But the lead singer from the Dead Kennedys,
Jello
Biafra, found this guy just blasting his Casio keyboards, random music. You know, when you test out keyboards and shit, you can just make them play their own songs.
Yeah.
So Wesley Willis would just play those songs and then sing his own lyrics over top of it, and it would be just horrific stuff about doing inappropriate things to all different types of things. And he had one song called Rock and Roll McDonald's, where he was just Rock and Roll McDonald's, Rock and Roll McDonald's.
That's the song they used in Super Size Me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Wesley Willis. So Wesley Willis was an incredible artist. He could do what Nanopolis was talking about. He could look at the skyline for a second and then draw it in detail, like window by window.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could do murals of cities and things just by looking at a picture for a second and then just draw it. But he was such a super genius, and kind of on that autism spectrum like you were just talking about. But
Right.
he had an abusive dad, and that childhood trauma led to him having some issues. But then one day he got mugged, and he got a gun pulled on him, and the threat to his life caused a psychic, like his mental stability just broke.
Mm-hmm.
And he just started developing really bad schizophrenia ever after that incident, and it just progressively got worse and worse on him. So he probably had that situation like developing, and then the incident of the guy pulling the gun on him just like bang made it worse. So he was never able to like fully come back from that. But the way that he was still fighting back against it is all these horrific things that he was saying in his songs was in order to fight back against the voices in his head. Like all the stuff that was saying bad stuff to him in his head, like his psychosis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was singing those lyrics to tell them to go screw themselves and leave him alone. And it became just like this crazy thing, because here's this huge rock star. He just signs this guy and puts out these records of him ranting and raving against the demons in his head. And it's like some of the most fun, hilarious music, and it brought joy back to him. He started, like, you can see interviews with him, like, he's like, I'm done. I'm not going to let these devils beat me. I got to get back to my artwork. I'm not going to eat any more cheeseburgers. Because he would have a bad problem of going into McDonald's and getting like 20 cheeseburgers and just like throwing down. And he started gaining massive weight and getting really unhealthy. But then he would just be like, I'm going to defeat these demons. I am not going to eat no more cheeseburgers from McDonald's. I will get back to my artwork. Just like he started
like
doing the
too.
shit. Yeah. So I'm a big Wesley Willis. Yeah.
Wesley Willis was a good man.
Yeah. Well, it's just inspiring, dude, to be that ill, to be that broken, to be that tormented. He would be playing his music. He would be smiling. He would be doing his thing in the midst of an existence that could only be summarized by just, it's horrific. It would be horrific to go through that mental torment. And here's this guy still doing the damn thing, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If that's the one thing that makes you happy and keeps things calm, then yeah, you're gonna be playing your ass off, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, he did.
Yeah, he really did.
Oh, dude. And people just recently, I saw on TikTok, are finding out like what a horrible, abusive piece of crap Steven Tyler actually is from Aerosmith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, he took a 14-year-old girl, got custody of her from her parents, took her on tour with him, got her pregnant, forced her to have an abortion, and then abandoned her.
I'm gonna call 911.
And he's not the only one to have done that, dude. Don't you
In
dare.
the band?
No, I'm talking about rock stars from that era, from the 70s and
like
80s.
that.
Ted
Oh,
Nugent
yeah, no,
did the same
absolutely.
kind of shit. You look into all of them, dude. There's nobody's that's hands are clean. All of them were bad back then, dude, about that shit, about treating women like fucking playthings and just completely being trash human beings. And I'm not just talking about shitty boyfriends, but like legit manipulation, legit child trafficking, like all that.
Yeah.
So,
No, there was so much of it back then. Jesus
Shorty,
Christ.
you got to get out from under that, dude. You can't be underneath this chair like that because it's got too much going on, bro. It's not.
It's not gonna work.
Jesus Christ. Nikki had to taunt him or tempt him with food to get him to go. But yeah, it's bad, dude. You don't want to look into these guys from back then. You know, one of my favorite artists growing up was Ryan Adams. Not Brian, but Ryan with an R. He's a singer-songwriter and incredibly talented, one of the greatest lyricists of my time, I would say. And it turns out he was speaking inappropriately, in my opinion, to somebody that was not of age, and by a lot. Like, in comparison to his age, it was like a really huge gap. And it was very predatory, and it just changes everything about his music to me. You know, I can separate the artist from the art to a certain degree, but like, if there's no way I can listen to his newer music and be like, oh, I'm gonna get into this. Like, I can the older shit because I have personal connections to the songs and like memories in my life with my friends and shit. But with new stuff that he puts out, I'm just like, nah, bro, I can't do this. It's just not there for me with this, you know. And
Yeah.
it just sucks. But a lot of that 80s and 70s shit, man, come on now.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis is a really bad one too, but like, everybody knows about that. You don't know about Jerry Lee Lewis?
Can't say I do.
Do you know any of his music? Goodness
Not by
gracious,
name.
great balls of fire.
Oh yeah, see, not by name, but that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
guy married his 14-year-old cousin. All right, and brought her to England, and the news broke while he was in England that was his cousin. And he was just like, England can kiss my ass, you know, because he's from Tennessee and shit. But he's known as the killer because he's pretty much gotten away with taking out one or more of his wives.
He shot his bass player down, didn't
Yeah, he's done a lot of crazy. He's still alive, dude. This guy is Elvis's cousin. They came out at the same time. This is somebody who's literally the age of like Chuck Berry, Elvis, and is still alive. One of the original founders of rock and roll. And he's still alive. And he's legitimately one of the most haggard, famous people that's ever lived. Like, they used to routinely arrest him for throwing liquor bottles at Graceland because Elvis was his cousin and he hated him because he couldn't play any music and he felt like he was better than them. He went on before he was the opener for Chuck Berry one time and lit his piano on fire while he was playing Great Balls of Fire because they told him that where he was the opener, he couldn't play Great Balls of Fire because it was too popular at the time, and Chuck Berry was the main event. So he set his piano on fire and played the song, and then told him to follow that.
Nice.
Yeah,
There's this Living Color song that I actually like called "Elvis is Dead," where it talks about like people exploiting Elvis's death or whatever, like his name for like money or whatever.
Oh, dude.
So many.
And apparently, Little Richard has a bit part on there.
I love Little Richard. See, now, Jerry Lee Lewis, total POS, right? Not a cool guy. An amazing musician. I don't know how many times I can state this in my life, but Little Richard is the baddest mofo ever. That guy is so badass. Like, he lived his true life and was his real self in a time when it was one of the most dangerous things in the world he could do, and he just didn't give a shit. He was an effeminate black man who did not give a damn and just played the hell out of his music.
Nice.
That's a dangerous situation to be in the South at that period of time doing that stuff.
In the South, as a black man, flamboyant. That's
Flamboyant, and you're talking about 50s, 60s, like, what? Dude.
You gotta have the biggest cojones.
Dude, that's
Jesus
some of the
Christ.
most punk rock shit ever.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Did you ever hear about what happened to the Sex Pistols when they played in Texas?
No, can't say.
They
I
got
have.
the shit beat out of them and left for dead on the railroad tracks. Like the
Shit.
people that beat them laid them out on the tracks in anticipation of a train coming and later taking them out.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was
Bad
gonna make a
idea.
left.
Dude, the fucking person that made their tour sent them to Texas in like 1978. Why the hell would you want the Sex Pistols to play in Texas in 1978?
Also,
Yeah,
yes, Bjorn, we are back on YouTube.
What's up? That's right. Back on YouTube. See, Bjorn was one of the people that came over from YouTube and actually made it to the Twitch stream,
Yeah.
which was really nice. But a lot of people had no idea what was going on, and can't fault them for that. Didn't get a chance to tell anybody what happened. It would be nice if there was at least an automated thing that was just like, hey, guess what happened, y'all? That's right. We got the band hammer for a little bit. Which Nikki and I have talked about uploading videos ahead of time. Because you can't, it'll let you publish things, but you can't upload. So if you've already uploaded a video that says, hey, guess what happened? I don't know the exact details, but this video got released because this happened.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Guess what, boys? Another video.
Yeah.
Also, Bjorn saying, when you're talking about Little Richard now, for some reason I mixed it up and thought you were talking about Richie Rich.
Well, he did get rich. There's no doubt about that. He did. But yeah, dude, it's crazy to me how the 80s music has become really popular with like that Kate Bush song on Stranger Things, Running Up That Hill is like extremely popular again. And so people are going to be getting into more 80s music off the back of that, and they're just going to find out. They're going to find out.
They're gonna dig up a treasure trove.
Yeah. As far as I know, you can't make community posts. I don't think so anyway. It banned me from uploading anything else. So I would imagine if someone did something against the community guidelines, they would not want them uploading anything to the platform.
Yeah.
Because what you could do on the community post could be worse than the video.
I thought you guys got busy with life or something. They got busy with something, Albatrex.
Yeah, we got busy with like the blockade being put up.
You say someone could post something worse on a community post, but I know someone who has posted pictures of someone's full-on penis and didn't get banned
Jesus
on the
Christ.
YouTube community posts. It was
Jesus.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger did it?
No. It was my buddy took that picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger where he had
Oh.
his dong out.
Yeah.
And just posted it on
And just
YouTube community.
Well, everybody knows he's a robot anyway, so it's not even real. So,
True.
yeah.
Robotic for her pleasure.
Yeah.
That was so
Uh,
funny though.
Dude, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that there's a big thing against like even tobacco being on channels. Like there's some rule against tobacco now or something.
I don't know about that. Because I see
I mean,
a
it
lot
wouldn't
of people
surprise me.
avoid. I see a lot of people like avoid smoking anything on camera on YouTube.
Yeah.
But then I see some like re-uploads because like on Twitch, for example, I can smoke a fat blunt on camera. Nobody would care as long as it's legal where you're at.
Yeah.
But then I see people re-uploading those Twitch VODs to YouTube, and those don't get in trouble.
Huh.
They're just, oh, okay, fucking yeah, you're smoking, whatever. They just don't pay
Well.
attention to it.
This is
So-
the thing, you hardly ever see anybody smoking on YouTube at all, so...
That's true. I think it's also to do with like how YouTube checks things when it's first uploaded.
Dude.
Like how with swearing, the first 30 seconds gets checked, but after that you're fine.
Dude, I was wondering what the deal was with this video, like the audio podcast I did with my friend Chandler. I uploaded it, last night just when I saw that I could upload to test it. And yeah, unfortunately, they went ahead and restricted my video to a certain degree. It's got limited ad suitability.
Age restricted?
No, just limited ads. And I
Huh.
don't know why. Because it's nothing wrong with it. The only cussing that happens is towards the very end, and it's all about what Dana White said. It's a quote for Dana White because he was like, holy fucking shit, when he saw what my friend did. Immediately got limited ad suitability. So I hope that doesn't start happening to every video that gets posted.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Crimson New Type saying that Pay Money Wubby blurred his weed on YouTube the other day.
Really? He doesn't usually do that at all.
Who did what?
I'm not familiar with that channel. I've heard the name around, but I never actually got into that channel, so I'm not really sure what that's about.
You should watch him. He's really funny.
Isn't he friends
Pay
with
Money
Critical or
Wubby?
something?
With who?
With Critical? Charles?
Yeah, a little bit. He's friends
But-
with a lot of people, but he he can't
It's-
really say that he is because he is a brand risk.
What's the deal with all these videos? There's all kinds of rap videos and shit that have people smoking weed, showing weed, among other things. What
Yeah.
what's is that?
That's corporations are behind that, and that's a whole different deal. It's corporations and music videos. That's for some reason that just gets treated like, oh yeah, you can show someone twerking their ass and someone injecting heroin, and it's fine.
And it's on his highlights.
It is what it is. We can't control the world. We're just here existing in it. I don't know what to say about it.
We're at the whim of the robots.
Oh
Because
my
of Will
god.
Smith. That's one of them.
That's a good
Y'all are
one.
just
Have a report for inappropriate content on Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, and they'll have to watch the whole thing.
that's jacked. I would never ever support any kind of shenanigans like
Tomfoolery.
that. No tomfoolery. Only John foolery. No tomfoolery.
But I have so much foolery to give.
I'm a fool for you. But with that said, I do have work to do because we got to upload a video now that we can. We're going to be uploading a video. We're going to be preparing for the live stream. We're going to be having a good time. I had a good time talking to y'all. Any
Yes,
last
sir.
words for you guys?
Well, thanks very much for the donations that came in. Absolutely, with that I did not expect that $50 from Crimson New Type.
That's so dope. Yes.
Yeah, we genuinely appreciate that. It helps us a lot.
Well, like I said, I can't pay the moderators, but I can, give whatever donations happen during this stream to these guys so that they get some form of payment. So that helps. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
seriously.
It's something that I've always wanted to be able to bring to this situation is some kind of compensation for these dudes. So it's really, really fucking cool. Thank you guys, everybody that was in the chat, everybody that stuck around and hung out.
Crimson's giving another one. Another 50.
Hell yeah. There you go,
God damn it.
fellas.
Take care of yourself, buddy.
Yeah, definitely
Christ.
take care of yourself.
Good Christ.
Put the credit card down.
Thank you very much, though. That's nuts.
It's greatly
Yeah,
appreciated.
that is so sick.
That
That's
is fucking nuts.
what more could you ask for a situation like this, man? Just getting ready to chill, hang out with everybody, and some support comes through like this. That's
Yeah.
what it is in the dream,
You,
Okay, Crimson says he's
better-
good now.
you better be good.
He said, "I'm good, I promise." Well, you are good. You're great. You're fantastic, and we are very fortunate. You guys keep sticking around. This is number 9, I believe. Number 10
Yes.
will be coming down the pipeline next week. We'll be
And next
live
week,
streaming this
hopefully.
evening. I can't figure out a challenge in my brain just yet, but I'm going to do something creative today. I'm going to have an interesting challenge because I need a different one. But you
Well, I think
guys,
Nikki wanted to do anchovies.
No, I definitely don't want to do that. That was a bad
Wasabi.
idea on my part. But you guys take care of yourself. Be good or be good at it. We're going to dip out.